So welcome back, everybody. It's Paul again. I'm talking about our journey along with our co-star Sirius. And if you haven't watched the other videos, the prelude to this might be helpful. But I'm basically talking in a larger context about esoteric astronomy, esoteric physics. That I was very young at a time when I got interested in meditation. And in high school, I was very interested also in physics and math, and I wanted to understand how things work. So I figured, well, you know, if there's a God or if there's something, there's an explanation. There's an understanding of how things work. And in order to find out the answers to a lot of my questions, I had to turn to something very, very old, which is like the hermetic kind of stuff, and even before that, the Hindu stuff and things out of Tibet, and very, very ancient so-called esoteric literature. And I've searched and searched and searched and find better and better quality, and there's a lot of information out there, and I use my modern observations of what I know of physics and electronics and what I read and observe and hear other people teach me. I put a few things together and try to explain what I understand about this esoteric physics. And I want to point out here something that everybody and a lot of people know about here, and that's the tarot card. I'm going to bring it up here a little bit here. And you see a few things on this tarot card. The genius of their amazing symbolism. You have here above the head the Piscean symbol, or the infinity of infinity. This waveform that I talked about in the previous segment. You have, I could go on for an hour about the symbolism in here. For you have this here with the cup, which is the cup, of course. You have this spiral motion, which is the shape like this, the cone motion, because things go in through this. This is how things work. This is an electronic principle. This is a magnetic principle there. And it's symbolized here by something that goes in. You have a cup. You have a flow. You have something going on there. Okay? Now, there's a 5-star pentacle here. It has a number 1. He's pointing one hand down, which is the left hand on the grounding, and he's using his other hand as a transmitter up to the top. And he has an antenna on his finger. I mean, that's effectively an antenna, which is probably a crystal of some kind. And everything is fruitful here. Things are in order. You have the elements, you have the growth, you have the fire, air, minerals, or pentacles, and so on. And you have the bright sun, and you have, there's a whole bunch of symbolism in here. Now, what does that mean? It's not for fortune telling. In the broad scheme of things, the sequence in the tarot and the sequence in things is to tell a story about cosmology and how things basically unfold through basically a process of spin. The process of spin is something incredibly old. It's just basic to the whole universe. And, you know, you could just, physicists could go on and on just talking about spin. You take something, ultimately, the symbol of the circle, for example, that's the infinite. Everything resolves down to 1. That's the common denominator. Everything, you talk about monatomic substances. Yes, you want to get it down to one atom, monatomic, okay, 1. Because everything it's all math, there's geometry, there's proportion, there's amazing stuff involved. Now, it's telling a story for us to not just tell our fortune, not to just dabble in the ghosts and the weird spirits and things. It's to try to help us understand our physical nature, the energies we have, how we can use them, how everything works. Because truthfully, if anybody hasn't realized this by now, you look in your face in the mirror and you say, the fact that I'm standing here, just however it is, I was born, just came here. I keep healing. I keep going on year after year. My breath keeps going. Wow, that's just totally amazing. It's like amazing. We have the most amazing gadget. We're not like blessed because we have iPhones. We have our body. We have something that can perceive the cosmos. As above, so below. As we adjust, we can proportion it. We can adjust and understand cycles and understand these 4 cycles and the other types of cycles so that we get into a rhythmic motion in our life so that things happen. And in the large scheme of things, the whole universe, ultimately there's beauty. We know there's a sacred beauty that goes out. The flowers, everything is just unfolding in this absolute splendor. Fantastic splendor. How does it all happen? Because of light energy, because of communications between magnets. There's powers, there's the, fire, air, earth, water, there's the different types of the materials and so on, and there's different shapes. There's 5 sacred shapes, 3-dimensional shapes, and all of that stuff has to do, again, with the energy of our existence. And a lot of people these days, they debate, well, is this happening in the calendar and this happening? What I'm telling you here is, we know one thing. This has been ascertained. Sirius, the greatly worshipped star, the greatly honored star, the beautiful, beautiful light star that's coming and is now coming closer to us, and it has a lot of light. And it's not the only thing. That's the thing I'm telling you. It's not just Sirius that we're involved in with, but that's part of it. Now, I believe that people can receive that energy in a way that if people, is again transmutation, shifting polarity. By shifting polarity, you can change the whole thing. A subtle difference. Now, what's actually going to happen, in my opinion, as far as Sirius? I really think, again, Sirius is in the background, and I think the Sirius has now got close enough, and it's because the whole system around Sirius is now starting to basically tickle our system, you might say. And we might get some more comets, we might get some more things and some bands, but that's not the only thing. We're also going to go through the galactic equator. And that alignment's going to be very interesting. And then we have the comet, and we have a number of other things going on. Because again, in astrology, for accurate prediction, for astronomy, the reason you can be accurate if you include enough conditions. It has to be, for example, you can't have, that's not a square. That's a square. You can't have, you have to have a complete aspect, a complete set of energies to ignite, so to speak, a transformation. But I think we are definitely in that right now because the evidence is obvious. We can see it all around. There are things going on. Things are popping. The pot is definitely boiling now. It's time to do something. Because the thing I believe in is not a revolution, a renaissance. We need a renaissance. We need renewal. We need to just do exactly what the momentum is calling us to do. Because whether we like it or not in our petty little lives, our sun is definitely going to respond to Sirius and the other things. And our earth is definitely going to respond. No doubt about it. So we might well get on the bandwagon here. Now, in a broader context, and I speculate a little bit, because I don't know the distances here involved, but let's say, for example, at the closest approach, because this one is, again, it has the more momentum in the system here, and it's pulling us along here. At the point where these two are closest, our sun and Sirius, I'm still trying to intuit and speculate about what kinds of, certainly going to be, big effects. And I'm thinking that it might have to do with the ice ages and the cleansing of the earth and the washing. Okay, big dog takes a bath and all the fleas are off and so on. But, there is an opportunity because there is light streaming in that is of a beneficial quality for us. And that's part of our system, and we can receive it. So, again, thanks again for watching. I have to make short videos because of YouTube's limit, but